We are live.
Alrighty. Okay, everybody, we're back. And for round 2 here, we had to go get a head bolt. We got one. Luckily, a friend of mine has a shop there in town, and he had one. The junkyard did not have any. So, give me a second. I'm just trying to get organized. I'm going to type in chat here for just a minute. Okay.
No, but they say like it can reach. They reach. That's awful.
IRC bully. Yay, I'm back.
Yeah.
No está bueno. Did you see the X-ray? They say it's not good. I don't know how to. Maybe I'll look in the X-ray that I sent you.
Okay, I'm going to get over here and talk to everybody over here. Otherwise, I'll sit over there and type. Welcome back for round 2. We had a little issue with a head bolt that went AWOL on us. We got another one. So we're getting everything back together here. And I'm just running the bolts down here. And y'all are actually going to get a little bit more of a show this time. Maybe kind of not like part 1, but we're going to take part 1 and we're going to take part 2. We're going to combine them, basically cliff notes, into a video. James is going to do that. And so the cliff note parts are going to be up. The live video part 2 will be up. The live video part 1 won't. For obvious reasons. We had issues and it took a little bit, but we're all good now. I feel better. And get the head bolts torqued down. I'm going to get the rock arm assembly on. And show y'all how we oil that up and everything. Once I get the motor, everything together, not counting the distributor and carburetor, I'm basically going to kind of prelude the engine a little. and just make sure I get some oil circulating here. But I'm not going to get that part in for tonight. That will be for another day. We had a pretty good turnout on part one, and I'm hoping to have a pretty good turnout on part two. And anybody that turns wrenches knows that there's times you will have meltdowns, which I did a little. Well, that's not my thing. So, torquing the heads, we're going to torque them at 30 the first shot. And then we're going to go to 60, and then 85. And then I'm going to do an additional 5 pounds for using an extension. Because I'm using a 1-inch extension, so I kind of want to give it an extra 5 pounds to take up for the flex and the extension. Yeah, 1-inch extension really ain't going to flex, but 5 pounds is not really going to hurt me. So we're at 30. I'm bumping up to 60 now. 50. And 60. Okay. Clickety click. And for those that don't know what a torque wrench does, if you'll hear a click, you'll hear a click in them like that. That means you reach your desired torque. So you don't really go past your desired torque any. And you always want to torque them in steps. You never want to torque your total spec all at once. You can cause a head to crack, warp, and you don't want that. So we're at the 60. Okay, I'm bumping up to 85. 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Head bolts are coated with oil, as they recommend. And I've always used oil when I've on head bolts on the Oldsmobile engines. You don't need any kind of sealer or anything like that. Just oil and you're good. So and once we get the rock arm assembly done, And we'll call it a day on this one. And the next installment will be, we're going to work on getting headers on, the intake bolted down, and I'm going to show y'all a common problem on Oldsmobile engines that I've always come across that we're going to fix. Okay, that's my 85. I'm bumping 5 pounds for the extension. It's a flex. And it's just, barely budging on them. And I seen earlier where somebody mentioned about after you run the engine, retorquing the heads. You don't have to, with the Velcro gaskets, you don't have to retorque them after a run in. Some engines do recommend that. And what I want to do is just go over here to this other side and just they're not budging, they're just clicking, just double checking. That one just a hair. Okay, got them all done torqued. And when you're done with the torque wrench, loosen it up, get the pressure off of it. So, I got the rock arm assembly in. I'm going to check on the chat side here for a moment. See what kind of things we got going on. I got everything clean the other day in here. Everything is all nice and clean. The sliver paper towel. Okay, got it. So, like I said on the rock arms, we already checked the push rods, made sure all the push rods were straight. We're good there. It doesn't matter where the push rods go, where the rock arms go, but it does matter. Let me get close where y'all can see. As far as on the rock arms, where they go here, you have to keep them identical. And for the wear pattern, keep that the same. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to wear a fulcrum out. They will crack. And believe it or not, these will twist. And you'll end up push rod's this is gonna twist, push rod's gonna pop out, lifter could pop out, you're gonna lose oil pressure, and then you're gonna wipe out your engine. And you don't want to do that. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and get all the push rods in. Right before I put them in, though, I'm going to add some oil top of the lifters. That way we got oil there.
No, let me see what was that about.
And then now we will install the rocker arm assembly. Or no, push rods, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Make sure the push rod's in there. All the way. Clean all the push rods. Blew the push rods out. Made sure there was no
right side to my side.
All the push rods, the holes through the push rods was cleared. There was no debris or anything in them. Okay. And I'm going to put these push rods in for this other side as well. You notice when I'm putting them in, I'm giving them a spin. Just kind of make sure they seat in there good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, got them all in. And rocker arm assembly. This is where it gets oily. This is where it gets messy. To lube these up, what I do, I just take some oil, dump in there, kind of wiggle them a little, and I need to take some oil, just a little on the valve tips. I'll go ahead while I got it all. Do it. That way we got a little oil on top of the valve tips. Just trying to do this so I don't make a big mess and have it running all down the everything. Okay, well we got these are oiled and we slide them on. And we are not tightening them. I'm not going to tighten them up just yet. I think this is my socket I need right here. Just getting them on. I'm just making sure they're started. I'm going to get them all on and get them all started first. Now, some of y'all that's just joining, I used to build a lot of Oldsmobile engines, and I do mean a lot of them. I build a race engine, Oldsmobile race engines for drag, and circle track, because I run a circle track car, and I run the small block. What I run was the 403. I liked it because it was a stout engine, huge bore, small stroke, made good torque, revved up good. And even though a lot of people talk about the webbed bottom end on the 403s, where you can crack a block and everything, I never had an issue as far as cracking a block or a bottom end failure. They make 403s, so they're good size engines. Still considered a small block. 403s are. The 455 is a big block. It's like 2 inches wider. So, but the 403, the 455s, they're a lot of people will tell you that they are good, strong, bottom end, low end torque engines, which is good for the RV. And in the RV, you're not going to be revving it up high, with high RPMs or anything like that. So they're good engines. And the rock arm assembly, we torque them down to 25 foot-pounds when we go to torque them down here. And when we get in there,
You're being asked if we replace the lifters.
no, we did not replace the lifters, because if you replace the lifters, you have to replace the cam. And there's no need in that. The motor didn't have any top-end noise whatsoever. It just had the steam and low compression and excessive oil burning, which was because of the valve guides. He had to replace the valve guide in one head. He said it was just completely wore out. So that could have a huge cause in the oil consumption. He knurled all the valves. Alrighty, I'm going to, first thing is change my gloves because these are covered in oil. Set them right there. And put a new pair of gloves on that I thought I brought a handful of them. Yes, I did.
I get it, but I don't think it has something to put in there temporary.
And your first thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to use a torque wrench right off the bat on the rock arm assembly. I'm just going to use a ratchet where I can run them down and keep the preload good. I'll explain about that.
I'm trying to
Okay, on the rock arm assembly, when you're tightening it down, I'm just going to run at first, I'm going to run the bolt down to just where it touches the fulcrum. I'm not adding any preload at all on it. That just touches the fulcrum. Do the same thing on this one. Run it down till it just touches the fulcrum. Okay, and I'm going to give about a half turn on each one at a time. What that does is if the lifter is up, it keeps the even pressure here on the assembly. And will cause it not to break a fulcrum. So just turn on each one as you go along. Just get them to seat, and then we'll come back and torque it down. Same thing on these. Just run it down to hit the fulcrum in here.
I'm not talking about the nerve. I'm talking about the root.
Okay.
And then the nerve. They just take the nerve.
And you got to run this one a little more to catch up with the other one to keep it. Okay, now go half turn, half turn, half turn. Again, because this lifter here is up and this one's down. So you're basically opening the valve up as you're snugging this down. And some of you Ford guys will recognize these rocker arms look a lot like Ford rocker arms. And in fact, that is true. They do resemble Ford rocker arms. Oldsmobile rocker arms are 1.6 ratio. Touches. And I think Fords are also 1.6. Okay. A little more to get a touch. Not touching yet. Both these lifters are down. So this is actually, I got a lot more to run. Okay.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Said I'm not tightening them down because I gotta torque them. I gotta get up a little closer here. I no longer reach.
But oh, send me the picture of my camera. If you have it. And then if you
Yeah, Florida's supposed to be warm. It's actually cold out. I don't like that.
If you have money.
I don't know who to blame for bringing the cold weather here. I'm gonna blame James. James, it's your fault you brought the cold weather here.
Sorry.
Okay, now we're touching them both. Now, if you got one that's preloaded, the lifter is up. When you go to tighten it, you want to start with that one first, and then follow up with the other one. One of them's going to be, because it's got pressure on it. The other one's going to go super easy because the lifter is in the down position, and it's going to be, one of them's going to go like super easy. Okay, that other one bottomed out before I wanted it to, but okay. We just keep it pretty even. And same thing on this side. I got one up, one lifter up, one down. I'm just gonna run it till it touches. There we go. And bring this one till it touches. Okay. Get them back even. This one side is ahead of the other one. But you never, crank one down when you got a fulcrum like this. These are non-adjustable, so you don't have to adjust them. You fold them down, and the lifters will take up the valve lash. On this one here, I got one partial up and one partial down. Okay, you always want to make sure, once I get done, but you always want to make sure your lifter is in your notch in the rocker arms, which, I'm doing that, I can look at it visually and see that it is. Just going to run that till the bolt touches the fulcrum. Let's see, thing on this one, I've got oil on my hands, so it makes it a little slippery, sloppery slew. Okay. This touches, and then we'll go. Turn as we go along. And what we're going to do tonight is I'm just going to take the intake and just set the intake on here. I'm not putting the intake gasket on it yet tonight. I'll do that tomorrow. And get this here done. And give me just 1 second. Yeah. And
What's going on, live action?
getting these on. But you don't You're showing the whole world your butt crack. They can't see my butt crack.
Nope, it's just showed it to you.
Is it on live action over here?
Yeah, we're live anytime I'm working on this. So we got them tightened down. And same here on this. And then once we get this done, then we're going to go through, torque these. And tonight, what we're going to do is just take the valve covers.
Somebody's phone's on the floor.
And we're going to just set the valve covers on there tonight. Keep dirt off of them. I'll run this one down. Touches the key. Okay. And those that do follow me, you've heard me mention in a video here a short while back that I'm going to be doing some changes here in my channel. Right down in a little bit of a booger. That oil got down in there. So what it's doing is make it a little harder. Okay. Now I have all of them pretty much tightened up that way. And these get torqued down to 25. And it doesn't take much. Just a little turn and usually it's 25. I'll go just a slight hair. Past that, which is fine.
Sonny wants me to give you a help sugar.
Oh, motherfuck.
The orange sun.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, we got them tightened down there.
Other colors.
And for tonight, like I said, we're just taking the valve covers and setting them on top. Keeps the anything from getting down in there. And I'm I'm going to go get the intake and set the intake on there. And then I'll take a couple minutes, answer a couple questions, and then we will call it an evening. So I'm going to go grab the intake. And just slide the intake up in here for tonight. And just set the intake down here. To keep anything from getting in here. That's the only reason I'm setting the intake there. So I will be right back.
Oh, I think he needs help.
No, I got it. I got it.
Oh, this is important.
Okay. Now, I'll show y'all here in a minute how I'll just take the intake because I don't have a gasket to worry about sliding around on me. And I'm going to straddle this here and get the intake to slide the way I want it. Oh, God knows I ain't a contortionist. This is a stretch. Okay. Yes. Hell out of the way. And that way we got everything closed up there and good for the night. You'll remember the nipple that was the water hose went to? It was here. The top of it was rusted over half off. I couldn't find a complete brass one, but we got a brass into a steel. I've got to take it in the shop, put thread tape on it, tighten this down, and then I'm going to put some Teflon tape again on here and screw that in permanently, and that is that'll take care of that. Then the only other thing really to do is, putting the on the next video we'll work on putting the intake gasket in, setting it in, valve cover gaskets, exhaust headers bolted on, and then I'll show you a typical leak that Oldsmobile engines have, and we'll show you that, how to tackle that, and we'll get everything pretty close to being buttoned up. I got my temperature sending unit here, which I'm not putting in yet because I don't want it to break. So I'll set it there. Everybody knows temperature sending unit sitting on top of the intake. Can't lose it that way. So that's basically all I'm going to get into tonight. So I'm going to hop over on the chat side. I'll chat with y'all here for a couple minutes. Y'all can look at this beautiful masterpiece. I'll chat with y'all for a couple minutes, and then we'll call it an evening. So let me get over here and wipe my hands off and get to the keyboard and talk to y'all for a moment. Okay. Alrighty. Battery went good. Yes, Safari.
So we're gonna wrap it up, Wayne?
I'm just going to chat here with these for a couple minutes.
Want me to kill the live feed though?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and drop off the live feed, and I'm going to continue to talk to everybody over here. So once the live feed is done, you won't be able to chat, but if you stay here, I'll be able to chat with you here for a few minutes.